Health is wealth, and when people talk about this, they are not lying. Your health is so important, and it's not just physical, mental, and emotional health. And this is so important because it's like how somebody takes care of themselves is how they're going to treat you, right? And it's so deep. It's like the way that we love ourselves and take care of ourselves is literally how we're going to take care and love other people. And I was just thinking about this because I'm a person, like, I don't drink, I don't smoke. And I just find it like so like gross when somebody does like substances and shit. Especially, when they like do drugs to like run away as a form to run away. You just have to see how people deal with their problems too, because that's gonna say a lot. Like, if somebody's going through shit and their first immediate option is just to indulge in substances, that just really says a lot. You know what I mean? This just means this is a person, they're probably emotionally avoidant. So if you are like in a friendship or in a relationship with this person, they're probably gonna go ahead and avoid any sort of serious and emotional topics. And it just says a lot about a person. That's why I love observing people, like, from a psychological standpoint, because it's like you really got to see how a person treats themselves. How do they eat? Do they eat like shit, or do they eat healthy? How do they treat their mental state? How do they deal with their emotions? How do they process their emotions? How confident are they in themselves? Do they love themselves? These are all things that, especially when you are dealing with somebody, you have to look into. There's so many women who just, like, you think that, oh, like, he drinks, he smokes, and that's fine. No, that's not fine. Because eventually he's gonna start treating you like shit, or you're gonna get addicted to those things like him, because it's just like we are who we surround ourselves with. And I'm not saying that just because somebody does something that you're gonna do it, but let's just be honest, like, the people that we're around influence us. So it's just, you really gotta surround yourself with people that that have their own mind. And they're not influenced by substances, because, like, and then it's just like, for me, eating healthy and having a good mental state and knowing how to process my emotions and loving myself, this is just my regular life. This is just how I've been living my life for the past 5 years. And when I really, like, see into other people's lives, it's like this is not normal for them, because it's just, if for other people it's more of like a task rather than a way of them living their life, but for me, this is just how I live my life. But it's just, also, it's not just about eating healthy, it's about your mental state and how you feel about yourself too. And literally, how you feel about yourself, how you treat yourself, is how you're gonna treat other people. If you're meeting a person and they eat fucking McDonald's every day, they don't work out, you know what I mean? Emotionally, they're going through things, like, they don't, like, it's like, here's the thing. Your mental, physical, and spiritual state have to be all aligned. You know what I mean? Like, you could go to the gym every fucking day, but you could have a poor mental health and feel horrible about yourself, and spiritually you just have like a lot of demons. You know what I mean? So just because somebody does one of these things, you could eat healthy and it's just like not have a good mental health, not have a good physical health. It really, like, being a human being is not easy. And if you want to be a healthy human being, you have to take care of the spiritual, emotional, and mental state of who you are. Okay. And it takes a lot of work. You know what I mean? Like, so I just feel like most people that I meet are like so lazy. They're like, you know what I mean? And it's like, even if they do like one of these things, they're off in some level. Like, but it's just like, you really have to look into it and study how people treat themselves. That's how they're gonna treat you. And this is like so true. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes we expect people to treat us how we treat ourselves, and that's just not gonna happen, you know? It's like the first love language that we have is with ourselves. If somebody eats like bullshit, you know what I mean? If you're a person that eats healthy, you find self-love and eating well, right? This person is not going to understand that, you know? And you just have to understand that like how you treat yourself is deeper than just eating healthy, than just having a good mental state, than just, you know, being spiritual. It's way deeper than that. Because it's like how you treat yourself is going to affect how your outer world is. And it's just crazy how deep the whole thing goes. And a lot of people don't see it that way because it's just, I don't know, like we just think that the world is happening to us, but like really you're making the world happen. And this just really helps me understand humans in general because it's fascinating to learn that you have more power in your life than you think. And when you interact with people, you're not even interacting with them, you're interacting with their self-beliefs and like their past trauma. You know, most people don't live on a self-aware state. And it's very rare for you to find individuals that are like that because most people are running away from whatever they're going through. And that's why people turn to drugs, because it's like if you're going through something, you're going to drink, you're going to do some substance, you know what I mean, to run away from that shit. When you don't do that, it's like you're fully self-aware, and it's like that's why, like, I don't relate to a lot of people because it's like I'm not thinking from, like, a place of, like, I don't know, like, I'm just always me. Like, I don't run away from anything, and it's like, even if I am going through something, like, I face it head on, and that is a part of my self-love, and that is a part of having a good mental state and emotional state, is processing your own feelings. And that's what I do. And I don't do anything to run away from that, you know. And that is like, health is wealth in every sense. Like, it's not just like eating, you know. But yeah, you know, but I don't think it's like, that's why, like, I hate, like, people have called me, oh, you think that you're so bougie and you think that you're better than other people. No, I'm just taking care of myself. Like, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people think that, oh, it's that you're being bougie. Like, no, I am taking care of myself and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, you know, and this is what we are all supposed to do, is take care of ourselves. I'm not bougie. I don't think I'm better than anybody just because I love myself a little bit more than other people do. You know, we have to encourage other people to do the same and understand this is attainable. You can change your mind. You can love yourself today. It's something to change. It's just a mindset change, you know, and your mind is the most powerful thing ever. This is why I just love to observe people, you know, because it's like your mind, like just looking at somebody's social media, you can learn a lot about their mental state. You know what I mean? You can learn a lot about somebody's mind. The mind is the most powerful thing in your body. Okay? Right there in the mind, that's where everything lies, right? The mind is such a beautiful place. Also, the soul is, right? But let's just be honest. You want to know somebody's soul at first. You have to know somebody deeply to know their soul. But we always have access to the mind, you know? The mind is so important. And it's very important for all of us to take care of ourselves every day. You know, you think that you are always judging yourself, but if you're a person that you're spiritual, you take care of your health and all of this stuff, you are way ahead than most people than you think. Like, a lot of people around me that I notice, like, it's hard for them to even eat healthy. And it's like, if that's hard for you, I can't even imagine, like, their internal state. Because it's like, when I look at somebody, I look at every single part of their life, their emotional life, their sex life, their physical life, their mental state. Do they take any drugs? These are all things that you have to take into accountability when you are, interacting with somebody. Because some people aren't even, some people aren't even being themselves. They're being influenced by drugs. They're being influenced by negative thinking. There's a lot of people that you just gotta, that's why don't really argue with people, because it's like you don't even know if that's drugs, if that's a demon inside of them, or they just have negative thoughts, or you just never know. So it's just like, this is why really you shouldn't take things personally, because everybody's just constantly projecting on other people, so. But yeah, it's just crazy, when I live aware like this, I just feel like everybody's like on drugs or something. Like, I don't know, like, it's just like, sometimes it feels like that. Like, I'm the only one that's like really aware of like people's internal world and soul. Like, when I meet people, like, that's what I see. I don't see the human that I'm talking to. I see souls. I see their mind. I see the trauma that they've been through. I see, I see all of those things. And that's like the psychology level of it, though, and I'm not gonna lie, this has made my life a little bit difficult, because I just see through shit like this, especially dealing with guys. Like, I just become insufferable, especially when you deal with a man. Like, let's just be honest, men like to manipulate women, and it's like, they just can't do that with me, and that has caused me to be lonelier, when it came to that, because it's just like, I don't know, like nobody can trick me. Like, I'm just too smart, and I feel like a lot of men like dumb girls. Like, let's just be honest. Like, a lot of these guys, they want a woman that's dumb and you can control and manipulate and mold. Nah, nigga, you can't do that with me, nigga. Like, not me, like. So it's just like, I don't know. Like, I can't even explain it to you, because it's just like, there's just so many things that you observe that you can't even put into words, because it's just like so profound. But let's just say this. There's people with more awareness than others. And I just feel like I'm one of those people. Like, I'm constantly observing other people. Like, and it's just like, it's kind of scary, because it's just like, the deeper you get into psychology and spiritually, isn't your intuition. Like, you just read people so well, you know? And it's just like, you just use every human that you come across as like a psychological study. You know what I mean? And I love it. Because it's just like, then it's like the more and more and deeper you get into psychology, the more predictable humans become. You know what I mean? And like the people that you interact with, they become predictable. And it's scary, you know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, like I knew that you were going to do that. I knew that you were going to say this. And it's just, it's crazy. Anyways, bye.